should be live. Yeah, just pause my stream and say hello to a few people who have joined early. So let's go to live chat. The first person in here was Christopher Odd. He was asking me my question for the AMA. Why are you buying Lego from Amazon instead of direct from Lego? And that's because I get Amazon gift cards. We kind of talked back and forth to it. So when you guys purchase stuff through my Amazon links, for the US anyway, it sends me Amazon gift cards, and then I could buy whatever I want with that. See who else is in here. Knox, how's it going? Good day for the early birds. Watching my NAS. I think it was saying it was unavailable. That's because the stream hadn't started yet. Let's see. Albert, good morning. Ferris, good morning. Let me see. Tim, good morning. Happy Sunday. Alonzo, how's it going? Kevin, how's it going? Good morning, everyone. Even if you're in the wrong place, please hit the like button. Yes, that would be great. Interbert, how's it going? Michael Berg, good morning. And yes, we are live. And I'm drinking my third or fourth coffee, and I had pre-workout this morning as well. Probably need to slow down on the... I said last week I was going to slow down on the caffeine. It really doesn't do much for me. Like, I feel tired even drinking coffee. SPX Labs, how's it going? Good morning. JD, how's it going? Hello from Belgium. Roshan, good morning. Marios, how's it going? Ed, good morning. Anthony, good morning. So this is the second stream we've done this week. I've released a lot of stuff. That's because there was quite a few updates, and then so many people were asking me about this cable labeling thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm just throwing a video out there. Black Jedi, how's it going? Sujay, how's it going? Yeah, so I released, I think, 5 videos this week, maybe? 5 videos and 2 live streams or something like that. Let me see. This UniFi Protect one, like I said at the beginning of the video, I wasn't going to do it because I released that video on the 7.2.0, but it seemed to be a pretty big update. So I thought, why not? Let me just go down. I probably won't release a video tomorrow because I've been releasing way too many. But 1, 2, 3, yeah, about 5 in the last week and 2 live streams, so that's kind of crazy. I usually don't do that unless there's big updates that come out. Travis, good morning. So today's going to be kind of like a AMA Ask Me Anything. I mean, I guess it usually is like that. People just ask questions and I answer. I don't have a whole lot to cover with Ubiquiti that I haven't covered in the videos that I just released. We can talk about it if people want, though, as well. Kevin, good morning. How's it going? So, I mean, I guess, yeah, I still haven't received my UDMSE. I still don't have a timeline on that. So I'm waiting. I mean, I want to get a review out for that, but I can't get one. And it's sold out currently in the States. So even if I use my freight forwarder, I wouldn't be able to get it. Yeah, and honestly, it's pretty expensive for me to forward it to myself. I forget how much it would be. So US, it's $500. Whoops, let's log out to EA. It's $500 US, and then I had to pay shipping. I had to pay, duty fees and all that. So hopefully I just get it sooner than later. Do you have any idea when Ubiquiti will support the AVB protocol? I have no idea, no clue. You could suggest things for them to incorporate, but who knows if they really look at it, to be honest with you. Tookster, morning question. How are computer network supplies keeping up during the convoy in Canada? I haven't had any issues. I mean, the issues with the supply chain is still there. Like, it's hard to get stuff from Ubiquiti or whoever you're trying to get it from. I do have a couple things on order from the States, and they said they were delayed. I'm not too sure if that has something to do with it, though. Keep the good content coming and feed the people. Yes, I just don't... I honestly get sick of seeing myself sometimes on YouTube, so I think this week I'll probably do 2 videos, but I'll most likely release it Tuesday or Wednesday. Any update on the Wi-Fi 6 Coke can? So no, I still haven't even plugged it in. And what they are talking about is this guy right here. So I do have one of these. I haven't plugged it in yet. I did I did a live stream on Thursday and I kind of showed it off. I took it out of the box and that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't recorded anything for it yet. This will probably be the next video though. Really appreciate the updates for keeping us current. Yeah, so some people do and some people don't. I get a lot of comments on those videos saying like, oh, this is cool. People reading release notes, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't really care. It's what I like and I'm going to post it if I like it. And you could always skip ahead. Like what I do, I have those chapters. So if you don't want to hear me read all of the release notes, you could skip ahead and see the, UI changes if you want. Or you could just go direct and read it yourself. Timothy, good morning. Jim, good morning. Yes, I did see that actually, Albert, in the comments. So tomorrow comes my access point Wi-Fi long range. The long range is a wicked access point. I have that one in my basement right now. I don't know where I'm going to put... This is the biggest problem I have with the mesh. I don't know where I'm going to put it right now. I would like to get the brackets... I should have ordered a couple of these when I did order, because we don't have these available in Canada. And if I did that, I think I would have to go into my attic space maybe. And I don't really want to climb in there in the winter. It's pretty cold. Is the new UniFi network update official or is it release candidate? It's probably still release candidate. It says it's official, but... Is it? No, it's still release candidate. UI Glenn, I did kind of explain it in the video what happened. I think it was some bug that pushed it out. Anyway, I didn't have to SSH into my UDM to be able to push this network controller to my UDM. I just needed to click update and that's all it was. Usually with release candidates, it doesn't work that way. Can't wait for the update on the review on the Coke can. Yeah, I'm hoping it's a good access point. I do like the look of it. Another thing I hope they still added onto it was the RGB. Could you go into the UniFi cams being a HomeKit cam owner? What would be my experience if I would switch to UniFi and what cams should I have for my home using preferably PoE connected? So I haven't used HomeKit. So I can't really comment on that, but for me, UniFi Protect is awesome. I think it's very easy and user-friendly, simple to set up, and you could, like if you were using a Hikvision camera system or something like that, it's very difficult to show people the app. It just doesn't work that well. Whereas UniFi Protect, I think works amazing. The cameras I would go with are probably the G4 Bullet. G4 Bullet's kind of my go-to right now, even though it's sold out all the time. But that's what I would do, G4 Bullet. I wish we could get a mesh drop. I need 3 from my home. Yeah, so it's only available in, I think, probably Europe and the US right now. Can you make more videos on Cisco Meraki Go? I almost sold that. I still have the units. They're actually in my basement blocking out the light in the windows. They're just sitting up there because our basement's unfinished and I don't have blinds up there, but yeah, anyway. Possibly, I think Cisco Meraki Go allows you to do configuration now from the GUI interface rather than your phone. So maybe I'll do something. So Knox asks, are you planning to compare the Wi-Fi 6 Coke can to the Nano HD one, or is that not in the planning? So I wanted to compare it to the Flex HD, but I don't have one, and I don't know if I want to spend $220 just to do the comparison between the two. And with Wi-Fi testing, it doesn't matter the speeds or whatever I get, it's going to be completely different from you because your environment's going to be different. That's why the Wi-Fi access point testing and videos are kind of difficult. People are like, oh, that's garbage speeds. I get this, this, and this. Well, you probably have a you know, you have your place is different than mine. You might have less metal, blah blah blah. So we'll see. I don't know. If I did buy one of these, I'm pretty sure I could sell it fairly quick after I do the video. Let's see. I've read a lot of comments and pages on the U6LR versus the U6 Pro. What is your take on what scenario to use each for? Well, if you need longer distance, the U6LR. I don't really know though, because the testing that I did in my house, the U6 Pro performed better than it in all ways. Have you tried to implement and use Sonos with UniFi? I have, and it's not fun. David V asks, is it a stable update though? So I've updated to 7.0.20. It's stable for me. I can't speak for everybody though. I have 2 Flex HD ceiling mounts. Will be free to you. Pay for the shipping. So I appreciate that. It would still probably cost me the same amount as buying a set myself for duty fees and things like that. And I'll probably have the video out before they'd get to me. Yes, you can use UniFi Protect with HomeKit via Home Assistant. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm going to start dabbling in Home Assistant, and maybe I will start dabbling in HomeKit. Doorbell Pro, can't wait. Neither can I, because let me bring up my cameras. Ooh, I got to figure out what I forget what the IP is for my cameras. Right here, maybe? So some of the cabling in my cameras is not working properly, and that's because I didn't test my cabling when I initially ran it. Always test your cabling. But anyway, so the reason I'm really looking forward to the Pro Doorbell is this because of that secondary the camera on the bottom. Oh my, see, the front door is not even working. I need to fix that cable. Let's see. I just want to make sure that I'm not showing anything private here. All right. So as you can see, there's my door. But usually when we're getting Amazon packages, they leave it right near the front. So this camera doesn't catch it. I do have another G4 dome. This guy right here. But I don't have it angled properly. And this one is the one with the bad connection. I need to re-terminate the RJ45. So sometimes it cuts out. But I can't point it down anymore. So I'm still missing my Amazon packages. That's where that down-facing camera within the Pro will be really good. Let's see. Reginald, how's it going? From the UK. I know the Dream Router is an EA, so we cannot talk about it much, but what would you think considering its form factor and that we know it only takes an SD card? Will it be good for NVR? I have one. I haven't used it yet though. I think it will be good for a couple cameras. I don't even know what SD card we're going to use for camera footage though. Yes, the G4 Pros are very hard to purchase. Resellers are hard too, like SPX Lab says. They're sold out, but then they'll price gouge you as well. Is there going to be a Wi-Fi 6 in Wall HD? Maybe. If you take that hint. Yeah. So anyway, that's gonna be cool. How I get my doorbell on IoT network instead of the so your Albert, you need to hook it up to your IoT Wi-Fi network. If you have one, I forget what we created for you. I believe you had one. Hey Cody, any ideas how to use a VPN service, thinking PIA or Nord or any of these, network-wide, and also for incoming VPN users with the UDM Pro SE? So you can't do it right on the UDMs. You might be able to do it through like a Raspberry Pi. I don't know yet. They may integrate that with UniFi because so many, or the UDMs, a lot of people have been asking that. I think it would be good. I wouldn't use it personally, but Simon, no problem. Thank you for watching. Jim says, good morning. I bought the Dream Machine to help learn networking better, which was still very happy about. Any recommendations in books that I should focus on learn the capabilities in greater depth? That's a good question. So there's not, I mean, to learn UniFi, really you should just go to help.ui.com or watch like people's videos. But like for me, I'm not going into what's subnetting, what's VLAN, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of YouTubers who do that. But help.ui.com, it has all of the, information that you need to set up a UniFi network. Now, if you want to learn networking, I would start with the Networking Plus book by CompTIA. That gives you the basics of networkings and how networks work. CCNA is also good, but the CCNA has, it switched a lot since the last time I did it, and I think it has a lot more than you're probably looking for. Any ideas about connecting a PA system to UniFi Talk? I have no clue because I haven't done it, and UniFi Talk is still very new in here. David says, smash the like button. Yes, we have, how many people? 91 people in here, 34 likes. Oh, I'm going to get to that super chat. I do see it up there. I just don't want to miss any questions. My AP6 Lite just started dropping to 100 megabits. I have two having the same issues. Make sure that your cabling's good. Test your cabling. And Jeff, thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate it. Should I upgrade my APs to the U6 Pro or wait till Wi-Fi 7 in 2024? I don't know. I probably wouldn't wait, but that's me. It all depends, one, on your budget. Are your AP AC Pros still working well for you? If they are, why upgrade? Thank you for the $4.99. I have a UDM. I want to add some cameras and a doorbell for UniFi. What should I do? I use the AP for the UDM. I add a UDR. Do I use a cloud key? Do I change it to the UDM Pro? Do you have a PoE switch already? If you don't, maybe go with the UDM SE. If you do have a switch, like a PoE switch, I would just go with a Cloud Key Gen 2 Plus. Depending on how many cameras you want. If you want over 10, go with the UNBR. Hey Cody, how did your Lego build go since your last live stream? Let's see. Actually, I could grab it. I'm really obsessed with Lego right now. I haven't built too much of it though. One sec. So this is the beginning of the Nintendo, which is going to be awesome. I think it's about 4,000 pieces, maybe 2,000. I honestly forget. But it's really cool because you're going to be putting your a Nintendo cartridge in there. Yeah. We'll talk about Lego in a little bit. I don't know how many people like Lego here, but yeah, it's been something that I'm really obsessing with right now. Nice. Okay, so, you're asking a question there. Derry, I'll just call you Derry because I'm going to mess up your name. Good morning. How are you? From Poland. Newbie question, do I need a UDM to launch APs? Can I just connect them to my current PoE switch with or bind the UDM SE? You don't need a UDM. So you don't need, if you just buy UniFi access points and plug it into like say a Aruba switch, you just need the controller or UniFi to be able to do the configuration. That's it. Daniel, I'm not too sure about the VPN with Raspberry Pi. I have a couple customers who have set it up and I haven't yet, but maybe I will set it up. Maybe I'll set it up. That might make for a good video. I think a lot of people would watch that. For my house, I don't use it. I mean, if we're using like a NordVPN or something like that, that's kind of to switch regions, like geo-filtering, things like that. Like I would use and I have nothing to hide, really. If I'm in a coffee shop or something like that, I'll use PIA. Yes, this too. It will cut your network speeds down. Lego is awesome. I got too much of it coming. I've been watching a lot of. Let's see, actually, I just subscribed to this one guy. His channel, I mean, it's so creative. is his name? I think I did it here. I just don't understand how people are this creative. Half Asleep Chris. This guy is amazing with Lego. He does a lot of stuff like, I don't know, just random builds, but that's what I've been watching for the last probably 7 nights. Is the UniFi AC Mesh Pro or AC Mesh with the UMA antenna better? Apparently it is. I do have the antenna. I thought it was new, but it was 3 years old, so I haven't done a video on it yet. In EA Europe is an access point. Yep, that's right. So what Albert says, whoever was asking that question, just look in EA. Jeff asks, Cody, can I use a UDM Pro with my USW 24 250 watt PoE switch? Yes, you can. Absolutely. I'd watch a PIA VPN UDM setup. I think a lot of people would. I get asked it a lot. It would be nice if it was just built in. Tom from Lawrence Systems, he just did one. I think he did a video on it, but through pfSense. I grew up with Lego. I find a lot of folks on channels I follow also have Lego. I was surprised to see that even I was actually watching Adam Savage from Mythbusters the other day. He was just sorting Lego, and it was interesting. Can I use my phone as a controller for my manager to set up the UniFi APs? UniFi makes an iPhone app, and I can download it to the PC, but I can use my phone for deploying the APs. You can. I mean, you could put your APs in standalone mode as well. I have a video about that. I would run, like, if you don't want to buy a cloud key or anything like that, run the controller on a PC. Josh, how's it going? I am staying warm. It is a bit cooler out today. He should do firewall rules for blocking networks for VLANs and allowing stuff from VLANs and do it really good. That would be awesome. That would be help everyone with network traffic. The problem with doing firewall rule videos, everybody's network is different. So it's a little hard to pinpoint what everybody needs. Travis asked, Cody, do you know when the AR will be available for Android in the UniFi app? I have no clue. Are all UniFi Wi-Fi routers able to do mesh network? So the UniFi access points, I think the majority of them can, yes. Why is Ubiquiti short on inventory? I can't buy anything. That's the chip shortage as well as the trucking delays, or I don't even know what, supply chain issues. On landline phones, you get call waiting on a single number. UniFi Talk doesn't do this unless you buy another number. Like to have the main line is in use, it can ring another phone. I'm not 100% sure on that. Because like with UniFi Talk, I actually one of the Ubiquiti marketing people looked at my video, or maybe it was in a forum, I forget. But I asked them, how many channels do you get for incoming and outgoing calls? And it's unlimited. I guess it's just through Twilio, so it's unlimited. You could have as many calls go in and out. Can you do a review on the Ubiquiti Dream Router? I will 100% once it's available in general release. And I'll be doing it, I have it right now, so I haven't played with it yet, but once I do, once it's released, I'll be putting videos out. Good morning from downtown Toronto. Awesome. Rupert, how's it going? Not too far from me. I'm actually in downtown Toronto sometime this week. I work for chip manufacturers. We really aren't that short supply. So I've noticed that Ubiquiti stuff has been coming in stock a lot, especially in the States. John Paul, thanks for from South Africa. No problem. +1 for firewall rules for IoT using 100% UniFi. Okay, so I mean, a lot of people do want to see it. Yeah, no, I haven't even deployed it. It's sitting it's somewhere on the shelf right now. I was gonna play with it. I don't know. I do want to play with it, but it's gonna get me excited to start doing videos on it. All right, so I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna talk about anything today, really. So I guess we could talk about what I talked about on Thursday if people miss that. I did buy a couple more things for Ubiquiti through the US store. I don't think a lot of people are going to care about this, but I'm going to do a video on the UniFi Access Rescue Key Switch. I think that will be really cool to incorporate into businesses. As well as... Where is it? Oh, I bought 3 of these. So these are the long-range Ethernet repeaters. So we're going to see how far we could run a Cat6 cable with 3 of these repeaters and power up a camera still. I think it will be a fun video. I mean, I'm just going to have like a couple 1,000 feet or 1,000 feet of cable sitting in this room in a box. Adam asks, is there a way with the Dream Machine Pro to schedule internet access times per device? No, you could do schedules with Wi-Fi. You could do Wi-Fi schedules per subnet. What would be the best rack organization? What would be the best rack organization of UDM Pro, switch aggregation, Switch Pro, and a UNVR? It really depends on your style of how you like to do your racks, but that's kind of how I like to do mine. So I go patch panel switch, patch panel UDM. You could switch how these are kind of laid out, but that's how I do mine. These Keystone patch panels don't have the tension bar on the back, which I recommend getting the ones with the tension bars. Keystone 24 port patch panel. So that's kind of the tension bar right there. So you could keep the cables nice and neat on the back of it. From what it sounds like, oops, I'm blocking the chat, aren't I? From what it sounds like by some companies, if the product comes in by ship, there's multiple weeks or months wait. Yes, that's true. I think the docks in California are all backed up. Yes, this. I'm not going to say it, but that as well. Probably not the good practice, but I auto update everything on UniFi. So if it's just for your house, it's probably not that bad. If you have an outage at your house, I mean, really, you could just reboot your UDM, but for business, it's a little bit different. Hey, Cody, for a home setup, is it worth getting a Pro switch for 10 gigabit SFP plus for a UDM Pro, 3 cameras, 2 wireless access points, Synology NAS, etc. with Bell 5? It really depends. Like, I have 10 gig switches. Do I notice a difference? Not really. This PC here is the only thing with the 10 gig NIC in it. And that just connects to my Synology NAS. It makes my file transfers a bit quicker. I don't really notice it though. For home, it's probably not. You probably don't need it, to be honest. What's your opinion on Amada over Ubiquiti for home lab? The Amada is good as well. The one thing it doesn't have MDNS, and there's, they don't update the firmware nearly as much. Your PCMD says, here's an experiment. Take a single PoE port, use the splitter, and see if you could hook up 2 APs to cameras out of the same line. I don't know if I'm going to try that. I don't want to blow up my cameras, but somebody else can. Can you log denies for VLANs when debugging IoT VLANs? Are you talking about in UniFi? I'd have to create a separate SID for each subnet. Yes, there's no way to direct a device connected to a Wi-Fi network to a certain subnet, as far as I know. So they'd have to be connected to that SSID to do those schedulings, if that's what you're talking about. With this kind of shortage, how does one stay in business when you need hundreds of devices? Also, how can I purchase more products than my limit? Okay, so a lot of the times when we're doing these build outs, and seeing as there's been delays with Ubiquity gear, there's also been delays with other construction things like drywall, wood, whatever you name it. A lot of planning goes in advance. So like I have I did a project, it was 6 months of planning, right? That's how long they had to build. So we've just bought the gear over the 6 months of time. I am still short a ton of cameras though. It is difficult. As for the purchase limit, you might want to make a few more accounts possibly. Manny from Australia at 3:30 a.m. You need to go to bed. Speaking of Keystone patch panels, I did manage to get blanks 3D printed. I got 20 in exchange for a 6-pack of beer. That's awesome. That's actually, is that expensive? Let's see. I forget what a 6-pack of beer costs. We'll say, I don't know. You got 20, or we'll just say Keystone blanks. So they're $8. Yeah, I mean, whatever. You got them printed. They're custom made for you. These Leviton ones, like $4 for a 10. I guess that's not too bad. I don't know. I don't like Leviton. I don't know what it is about them. I just don't like it. New to Ubiquity, just recently saw the G4 Doorbell Pro. Do you know when it's getting released or how long products usually take to get released? Australian houses don't use old hardwired chimes. I have no idea on release dates. As for the hardwired chimes, I think you can use a Wi-Fi chime. And there is this shipping container shortage in the world. Well, that's great. Is VPN good on the UI network? No, not really. I mean, it could be better. They are improving it. In the 7.2.0, there was a bug fix for the VPN. Do you think compact wired only UniFi routers like the USG have a future? Possibly. The USGs have been running for a long time now, and people are still buying them. They still work. But you have limitations. Like if you want to put on threat management and that stuff, it bogs your ISP or your internet connection down to like 85 megs or something like that. This freaking mic stand keeps going down. Any suggestions for a power source for the Flex switch that you have in your backyard? Looks like it's PoE++, and the only switch that looks like it has that, yeah, so is the USW Pro PoE. So I'm actually not using PoE++ to that. I'm just using PoE+ through I think I'm going through my enterprise switch. So there's two different enterprise switches now. I don't have the XG, I just have this one, and it only has PoE+ on it. It just limits the amount of wattage if you do PoE+ or PoE++. I think there's just different wattage limits on here. So let's see. 15 watts, I think that's on PoE+. Yeah, 15 watts on PoE+, and on plus you got 46 watts. So it is a pretty big difference. With my UDM, when I put Sonos on Shield or Shield on the IoT network, they don't respond to the main VLAN. Do a magic solution by any chance? Not really. So what you would have to do, I mean, your phones and everything should be on IoT anyway. So really, when you're trying to get to your Sonos, you need to be on the same VLAN as it. Jason, how's it going? Joining in for a bit? I have a big wiring job to go to. Wow, that's going to be fun. On a Sunday, too. Mark, how's it going? So late coming is in Hello Pro or SE. I'm not too sure because I don't have an SE yet. PCMD says, yep, I have 11 accounts. Works great. But even then I have 7 jobs on the schedule that I can't get done. I'm hoping soon or one day, like even these Ethernet power injectors, I only could buy 3 of them. I wanted to buy 9. I guess I could have created a couple other accounts, but because if you look at the bottom here, deployment tested 9 daisy changed UACC LRE units. So I kind of wanted to mimic what they did in theirs. Joseph asks, is there a way to turn off the routing in the UDM Pro? Why would you want to turn it off? If you don't need the routing, if you're using like a pfSense, just get like a cloud key. Shipping container shortage must be all those tiny home builders. Some of those tiny homes are actually really cool. Yeah, when does the Dream Machine SE come to Canada? I have no clue. And the new U6 in-wall AP. So the U6 in-wall AP is still in early access. Jeff asks, is the VPN good enough to connect remotely to my home and, say, control my Sonos speakers? Yes, it would be for sure. So Josh, he says, didn't realize it worked with PoE Plus and it can be powered multiple cameras. My parents would benefit from that, where I could run 3 wires to the garage and then run one to their basement. So that's what I do for my garage. How many ports are on this thing? I think I have 3 cameras running off it on PoE Plus. Where'd it go? They only have 4 ports, right? I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one's your uplink, and yeah, I have 4 cameras running off that. Maybe I only have 3. You could definitely do it for your parents, yeah. Unless you're running a bunch of G4 Pros, they're going to take more power. Where the heck are we again? You guys are going too fast. I can't catch up. I cannot control Sonos unless I'm at home. But why would you? So what would you do with the Sonos when you're not at home, though? You won't be able to listen to it anyway. Salim asks, hey man, quick questions. I'm having an issue with guest wireless network doesn't resolve IPs for users. Do you have a DHCP server enabled? Companies are using the containers as storage and not picking them up timely. This causes delays in the sorting through containers to get the one that is needed by other companies. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Joseph says we're using the UDM Pro for the door system that they offer, but that's the only thing I need to do. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't think you could turn it off completely. I'm fearing I'm going to need more PoE ports than the ones on the SE. What should I go for in the cheap UniFi switches or something else? Well, it depends on how many ports you need. They have a bunch of different PoE switches. This one's not bad. The Switch 16 PoE, it only gives you 8 PoE ports though. Or if you like this one better, that one's alright. Where are we? You need a vacation. Come to Texas and help me redo my home. I'll play for, you know what? It's funny, the amount of people who ask me to come to Texas, it's crazy. I've been asked to come to Texas more times than I could count. Probably not yet. I mean, we'll see. Maybe in a little while. I'm not really wanting to travel yet for a bit. I wish the G4 PTZ does auto tracking. Why do you think Ubiquiti doesn't have that feature? I think because it's a new, such a new camera, and they're probably testing to see how many people are going to buy it. I would hope that they do add the auto tracking though. That's a huge feature to PTZ. I have a Dream Machine SE. I wanted to get a Switch, but I don't see UniFi doing the 16 Pro Switch. Do you know if they are planning to make one? And what Cat 6A keystones would you recommend? So I don't think they have a Pro 6, or they don't have a Pro 16. Cat 6A, I would maybe use vertical cable. JD, thank you for the 10 pounds. Cody, have a UniFi Dream Machine connected to the UniFi 16 PoE Gen 2. Sometimes access points revert to 100 megabits per second. Distance about 30 meters. What could be the issue? Terminations or cable. That would be the first thing I would check out, is your terminations and your cabling. More than 90% of the time, that's what it's going to be. Thank you again for the 10 pounds. I really appreciate it. It'll be 1 G4 bullet and 2 G3 flexes. Yeah, you should be fine on that. That's actually what I have running on mine, and a G4 dome. The 16 port PoE flex switch at their house for the PoE stuff. Yep, that's a good switch. No problem. John says, love your video, so happy to be on the live stream with you. Question, I can't put APs on our ceiling due to landlord issues, but I can get an LR AP and mount them on the wall. Yes, that will work. Yep. They actually have in their diagrams, if you look, that you can mount it to the wall. Daniel, thank you. Cody rocks. Wicked. Actually, do we not have a rock emote? Oh, I don't have it. In our Discord, we have like a, I don't know. Somebody created an emote with me and a guitar rocking out. It was pretty funny. Now, how do I get rid of these emotes? Uh-oh. I want to see more chat. Hold on, I'm going to pop up the chat again. Where'd it go? Pop out chat. There we go. Now, let's see where I was. Go live chat. You're from Texas too. There's a lot of people from, I have a lot of clients from Texas. I'm working with a couple of them next week, or this week. Queen Bee says yes to Texas. We will not, well, we won't be going to Texas yet. Maybe maybe in the future, we'll see. Should I get a UDM SE or a Pro? Are the differences really worth it if I don't need PoE? Probably not. If you don't have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet from your ISP coming in as well, you probably don't need it. Are you going to do a video on the 360 cam? Already done it. I was probably the first one to do it, and it didn't do too well, to be honest with you. I forget when this was over. I think it was over a US holiday. So now I'm going to not do things when... I figured that it would have done better on holidays. 60. Whoops. Did I not do a video on the 360? I'm pretty sure I did. Where is it? Oh, here it is right here. Oh, that's what it was. I posted it on Christmas Eve. What was I thinking? Anyway, there it is. Let's see. Steve says, hey Mac, can you cover DHCP flat on the UDM Pro? I'm not getting addresses. What version of UniFi are you running? What do you think about the Switch Flex utility since it has a 60-watt power adapter? So I have the Switch Flex utility in my backyard, but I don't use the power adapter. I think it's great. I mean, it keeps all your switches safe from the weather. Yes, we do have Discord. It's actually in the it's in the description probably of this video, but here it is here. Oops. And I think we just crossed 1,000 members of it. That is the Discord there. I see Timmy's Coffee. Well, this is a fake because I had Timmy's Coffee in it. It is still Timmy's Coffee, but I made it myself. I have a can of the Timmy's Coffee. Yeah, and then I put almond milk in it. Yeah, it's all right. It tastes okay. I've had too many coffees today, though. Let's see. What does Canada think of the Hong Kong protest? I'm not really going to think about it or talk about it too much or at all. I don't really have any thoughts about it, to be honest with you. I'm just glad it's not around me. I'm about 6 hours from it. Lago Vista, Texas, just outside of Austin. I would like to come to Texas for their like big barbecue. I think that would be wicked. Buying a new Switch just for that wouldn't be something I'd want to do. I'd rather run just 3 cables. Yeah, it all depends. I mean, their 16 port switches aren't too expensive, and they work well. Is the UDM Pro able to do 2.5 gigabit throughput, or would I need the SE? So you would need the SE if you have a 2.5 gig WAN interface. Universe Unknown, thank you for the $4.99. Thanks for recommending VMAX. Worth the money? Can you explain Keystone? Is it patent term by a company? Nope, no stupid questions. So Keystones, I mean, they're just kind of your standard. It's just the way that they pop into the back of the jack. It's with these little, hold on a sec. It's with these little lips. You can get different jacks that aren't Keystone. But anyway, Keystone's probably the biggest in the world. And you could get anybody Keystone. So you could go Belden Keystone. You could go, I can't even think of vendors' names. Vertical cable Keystones. There's hundreds of them. Like this is, Cable Matters Keystones. Really, if you're getting Keystone jacks, you just need to make sure you're getting a Keystone patch panel and Keystone faceplates. I already have a video. So Jeff asks, what about a G4 Pro? Do you want to do a video on that? I have a video on it. I have lots of videos. I probably have over 400 videos now. The G4 Pro video was done a long time ago. This was in October 12th, 2020. I did the G4 Pro video. There you go. Oh, you mean the doorbell? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yes, I will be doing a video on that when it comes out, for sure. Or a couple videos on it. When have you found is your best days to release content, weekdays or weekends? I usually try to do Mondays and Wednesdays. I showed this off actually on the live stream on Thursday. But you could go into analytics of YouTube and it will tell you when your best times are. And a lot of the times I don't stick to it because I finish a video, I get excited, and I release it. So if we look here, when your viewers are on YouTube, so usually when your viewers are on YouTube, they're going to view your videos. So on Mondays, I usually release them at 11, and it says many of my viewers are on, but if I released it at 1, very many of my viewers would do it. So this is kind of what I go based off of. Like I won't release anything at midnight ever. It just doesn't make sense for me. And it tells you the same thing for your live streams. So it says on Sundays, I do mine at 11 a.m. It says 1 p.m. would be better for me. Let's see. Donald, good morning. How's it going? Have you asked Ubiquity recently if enabling 2.5 on their SFP Plus on the UDM Pro is a thing yet? I don't think it is a thing yet. I haven't asked them either. No. Oh, it's log go. Okay, gotcha. Spanish for lake. Yeah, I barely could speak English, let alone another language. Mm-hmm. Yep, what Josh says. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I just don't get into that. UDM Pro has 10 gig WAN SFP plus, but there's an issue with the settings with the 2.5 gig. I'm wondering if it could be done via the CLI. It may be able to. I haven't tried it though. Looks like I'll be upgrading to the SE when 2.5 gigabit will be available. What type of SFP cables would you recommend for AT&T? I'm not too sure because we don't have AT&T in Canada. I would assume they would use some sort of GPON. But the 2.5 gig interface on the UDM SE is a copper RJ45. Is there a way to block wired devices with the schedule? Not yet, no. Not with UniFi. How do I enable a failover WAN on the UniFi Switch with the UDM? Failover WAN. You just plug in a secondary WAN and it does it automatically. Okay, so have you ever had this issue when I log into the UniFi guest hotspot, I get the error too many redirects and it gets kicked off? I haven't because I don't set up hotspots that often. But I am probably only going to stay on here another 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have any more questions, let me know. We have 123 people in here, 60 likes. So let's see if we can get those likes up to 80. That would be great. This week, I forget what I'm doing. Tuesday night, I have a cutover. So that's going to be a late night. I have to go look at a job tomorrow. And then a bunch of consulting stuff and a couple videos. We'll see. Speaking, okay, so let me show you. We'll talk about Lego for a second. So obviously I'm all about Lego right now. I'll show you which ones I bought. So I'm looking at this one. I think the globe looks pretty cool. But age. It's crazy. So I got these. They don't come in until March 1st. But anyway, you could do 3 different styles. So it's a picture frame. So there's Batman, then there's the Joker, I think. And then Harley Quinn. So we'll have all 3 of those. So that's going to be cool to build. And since I like guitars, I bought their guitar one. Guitar. Let's see. So I got this one coming in on Amazon. And I think it will look really cool. I don't know where I'm going to put it. But I bought this LED kit, so it will light up this whole guitar. I don't know what color I'm going to do it in, black or red. I'll probably do the red, just because it will stand out a bit more. SPX, you have a good day as well. Tim, have a great week. We can't, because there's a EA, there's something that you sign. I mean, you don't sign it, but you check it off that you can't really speak of it. It's like the first, what did I say in one video? The first rule of Fight Club, you can't speak about Fight Club or something like that. It's same thing goes with EA. Coke can this week. Yes, absolutely. I've also been thinking about redesigning this back wall, even though I just put the guitars up there. I wouldn't mind getting like these shelves that I could put all my Lego behind. But anyway, I guess that's going to be it for today. Do the red version. Okay, that's what I was thinking, actually. Is it would stand out a little more. Vegas trip next weekend, wicked. I actually got asked to go to Vegas, but yeah, I don't want to go anywhere right now. Can you play on it? I don't think you, I'm not sure if you can. I'm not sure because they have this piano that you can. I'm pretty sure you could play on the piano. I've been thinking about getting this one too, but as you could tell, like, look at how expensive that is. Almost 500 bucks. So that's the piano. They do have a typewriter, which looks cool. And I believe this may work or not. I thought I saw in somebody's review that this does work as an actual typewriter. Steve, I'm not, so UDM Pro won't work with the DHCP relays. What's the trick? I'm not too sure. To be honest with you, I'd have to look at your config. I have a UDM SE 1 G4, 2 G3s, 2 Wi-Fi 6, 3 Flex. Should I plug everything into a switch, 16 port switch, or leave connected to the Dream machine? I would put it in the 16 port switch. Trickster, you have a good week as well. Jeff, no problem. Is there a way to contact you? Is there a contact you have with the WISP space having troubles connecting my USIP? Send me an email, cody@mactelecomnetworks.com. Thanks for the info. I got the Doorbell Pro, and none of the UniFi YouTubers have done any videos. No, that's because we can't. All right, I am off for the day. Everybody take care. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the likes and all of that. I'll see you next week. Take care.